I never thought I was going to say this, or actually, I did know I was going to say this, just not on this podcast. Sam Darnold's going to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold is going to the Super Bowl. Yes, you heard it here. If you go back to TalkBall Tweakers episode 2, I called him the best quarterback in the league. Whether I was joking or not, he's going to the fucking Super Bowl. But more importantly, we are back for TalkBall Tweakers, Super Bowl preview, national championship recap. It's been a minute. I'm with my co-hosts, Blake McQuarrie and Toussaint Fancher. Sorry, audience, we've been big boys. We haven't been able to do this, but we're back right now. So how we feeling?
Let's go. Always good to be back. Feeling good. Ready to talk Super Bowl. I can't believe I'm watching a Super Bowl between the Patriots and Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
this is crazy. I mean, I feel like there's so many better options that could have came out of the playoffs, but nonetheless, it'll be a good Super Bowl. I'm happy for Sam Darnold. Um, Man, he went from being trash, but that's because he played for two of the worst franchises. No offense
no,
to
none
Jake.
taken. I could double down on that right now.
But now he's with a competent franchise, actually a really good franchise, and yeah,
Yeah.
I hope they steamroll the Patriots. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm right there with you. But let's Super Bowl preview it up. Let's
Talk
talk.
Talk
ball.
ball.
Okay, yeah, so it's not 2015 anymore, but we have the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Both teams, oh Jesus. New England looking for number 7, Seattle looking for number 2. Drake May versus Sam Darnold, Mike Vrabel versus Mike McDonald, a team that finished in last place last year. Yeah, I mean, what's our initial thoughts on the game?
I think I think if you would have told me this like before the season started, I would have dismissed. Like if somebody would have told me Seattle and New England was going to be in the Super Bowl, I would have dismissed them like immediately. I wouldn't have even listened to that. Like I would have there's no way. Um but I don't know. I mean, I think I like it overall just because I think it's showing that um like the new age of the NFL, there's a lot of change. Like I feel like we grew up where it was always like Brady and whoever came out of the NFC, which was usually like Seattle or Atlanta was really good. We seen the Rams there. So like we grew up with a lot of, repeats. Philly, like it was always, um, it was always repeats when we grew up. So now I feel like now it's starting to change up a little bit every year, and I kind of like that. I like, a lot of young guys getting opportunities, and new teams, new franchises, getting back to where they were. So yeah, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I really am. I couldn't tell you how it's gonna go. Obviously, we'll get into a prediction, so I'm gonna have to choose somebody, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's a lesson in like you can change an entire franchise in a season. Because last season, New England was 3-14. They were terrible. Drake May's first season, and then they got a whole bunch of people, via trade, free agencies, drafting, and got a new coach in the building, Vrabel, who's obviously familiar winning Super Bowls there with the dynasty, and then now they're right back to being as good as they were when they had Tom Brady. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because they had the easiest schedule this century, but yet they still went through three playoff teams and got all the way to the Super Bowl. And then Seattle, getting Sam Darnold, they had Geno Smith before who could barely do jack squat. Geno Smith couldn't do shit to save his life. All right, let's
Former
just go.
Jet Geno Smith, former Jet Geno.
Yeah, you got two former Jets who were bust with the Jets. That listen, he got them back. He kept them at relevancy. I mean, after
Yeah,
Russell
he,
Wilson,
he
he
had a
kept them
good he
at
had a good tenure for
yeah.
Geno Smith. For Geno
He
Smith.
yeah he got them to the playoffs. But obviously, there's so much. He's like another Jameis Winston, like so much upside, but then also can throw so many interceptions and have a lot of mistakes. And so then you get him out, you bring in Sam Darnold, and everyone was like, well, I don't know, Sam Darnold, this, that, other thing. Then you get Mike McDonald, the defense is elite. You get a whole bunch of players via draft and signing. DeMarcus Lawrence, you draft Emin Worry, you got Terry Woolen, Witherspoon, elite defense, get a defensive coach, turn the franchise around. Clint Kubek's a great offensive coordinator, great play caller, and then now you're back in the Super Bowl. So Seattle had everything this year that they needed. Good quarterback play, great coaching, an elite side of the ball, and great players on the offense. I mean, they got one of the best, if not the best receiver, in JSN. And then, yeah, so both teams just really changed how their franchise operated and how good they were in a single season.
Yeah. Well, first off, this is the closest I'll ever be to a Super Bowl. Like as a fan, closest I'll ever be. By far the closest I've been. Let's get that out of the way. I'll save my Sam Darnold rant when we talk about him a little more and like a storyline for that. But if you told me that the Patriots and Seahawks would be in the Super Bowl at the start of the season, I probably would have been like, you're tripping. But if you told me
Yeah.
the way these franchises worked and the roster they had, I would have been like, okay, like we spoke about the Patriots in the summer and we were just like they can make the playoffs. And if Drake May was really good, then maybe they had an outside shot. I don't think any of us could have saw Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Joe Burrow not making it, and Drake May being better than all of them this year. Seahawks side is more shocking to me. One, because they finished in third last year. They weren't last because the Arizona Cardinals are dog shit. Well, I'll say it how it is. Jesus, that was a random Cardinal stray. But no, the Seahawks, great organization. One, we know this. Great coach in McDonald too. He's coached at the top of pretty much every level, Natty with Michigan or close to the Natty, that Baltimore, all that, and they have talent. They've always had talent. And again, I'll save it for Sam Darnold. I'll save it for my rant for after. But it shows like it's like the Lions last year. Jared Goff, he's not elite in some people's minds, right? We could have that conversation another time. Or I don't know, the Niners with Jimmy Garoppolo when they made it. But if you have the pieces around you and you're freaking dominant there, like it doesn't matter who you have at the quarterback position. It really doesn't. There's been some game managers that have won the Super Bowl, and I'm not calling Sam Darnold the game manager because trust me, I could get into that a lot. But for the people that doubt quarterbacks like that, like maybe Bryce Young could be good, and we'll doubt that. It's just a cool story. Like I honestly think it's one of the best stories in recent Super Bowl memory, honestly. But I'm a little biased towards Sam Darnold.
No,
But
I think just I'm not to cut you off, but I absolutely think Sam Darnold being in the Super Bowl and after the year that he had and what he's done in this year's playoffs, it's absolutely one of the best stories for sure.
yeah,
And just before you go, Jay, I was just gonna add one piece. The thing that always blows my mind that people keep bringing up: first guy from the class of 2018 to make a Super Bowl, and you got Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and he's the
Yeah.
first one. Just crazy.
and Baker.
And Baker.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with Sam Darnold as the storyline because I obviously had to get him to the front. We don't need to talk about it too much because the consensus is he's a great quarterback that could win football games. And I think the fact that I'm able to get you guys to say that is just his story. Like it's not even me coming at like Sam Darnold haters, not saying you guys were, but people that doubted him because like
I
people had
doubt
the
it.
full
Yeah.
yeah, people had the full right to doubt Sam Darnold.
I
Like
did. Absolutely.
exactly. And like, look, probably 95% of the NFL world did. Like the reason I didn't, I was a Jets fan and I watched him and I believed in him and I probably was a bit too optimistic. And like, so I'm not gonna go at people that said that stopped believing in him like you're an idiot because they're not. Like it just shows you, like Toussaint said, like the organization matters so much. The Jets totally failed him. If you guys could name the Jets' number one receiver during Sam Darnold's time there, I would just give you $1 million. The Panthers just sucked, but then you put them in a good situation, two good situations, by the way, because the Vikings are a pretty good organization too. And you just see the guy's career turn around. I'll even make it three when he sat behind Brock Purdy. That might have been the best thing that's ever happened for him, right? And now, like, I think we're reaching the time. Like, I think he's a top 10 quarterback in football, and we could argue that all we want. He might have a Lombardi trophy. And that's crazy for half of the NFL world. And yeah, no, it's pretty wax poetic to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very abnormal for you to be a high draft pick and not turn out the way that people thought it would in the beginning, and then you bounce back from that. There's not a lot of guys in the NFL who have been able to do that. Obviously, there have been, but not a ton, especially when you talk about the quarterback position. When you're a high draft pick and you bottom out like that, and your first couple years in the NFL, usually you don't come back from that. So to be able to do that, for him to have that capability, wait his turn like he did in San Francisco, go to Minnesota and kind of revive his career. Obviously, the playoff performance in Minnesota, kind of, I think that was a major factor in a lot of people doubting him. That
Yeah.
was, I mean, that was kind of my main thing, and why I doubted him coming into this year was, I thought in Minnesota it was just he had a great system around him, and he had Kevin O'Connell, which is one of the greatest offensive minds in the NFL. And I thought that's what led to his greatness and why he was so great last year with Minnesota. And then obviously the playoff game, just had a terrible, terrible game, which I thought, that's typical Sam Darnold, what he's been all year or all career long. And now just being in Seattle, proves that, he's a very good quarterback in the NFL.
I think it's also a lesson in it matters where you go.
Yeah.
Um, the worst franchises in the league literally burn people's careers. Like they will light your career on fire. Um,
Yes,
I
they will.
think, I mean, there's truth to it because, like, for example, the Manning family, Eli Manning didn't even want him going to San Diego. They didn't want him going to the Chargers. They literally said, "Do not draft him. He's not going. You did. It's
Yeah.
gonna be empty. He ain't hopping on a flight to San Diego." So bad franchises where you land will burn your careers. And I talked about this on like so Jake and I were talking before we started recording this podcast, and I have a TikTok channel where I talk about it. And I had a video, Ball Knowledge Chili, go follow. I had a video where I was talking about the Browns head coaching search this year. And I was talking about how it's gonna like mess with the careers of everybody because of what they're doing. And it's the same thing with the Jets. It's like you go from the Jets, if you're Sam Darnold, then you go to Carolina. Carolina at the time, the owner was punched a fan. Your
Yep.
owner punched a fan?
Yep.
David Tepper, you're a tweaker. You're tweaking. How you own the team and you punching a fan because you can't get the team right? You own the team, buddy.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
like punching a mechanic because you drove over a rock. Like, are you stupid? And then obviously he goes to San Fran, like you said, and then very valuable there, backing up Purdy with Shanahan as a play caller. And then he has three great play callers. He goes from Shanahan to O'Connell and now Clint Kubiak. And um I mean, listen, I don't think Sam Darnold is supported anymore like he was in Minnesota. Like that's not fair to say. That's not fair to be like, well, he's supported by X, Y, and Z. He does his business. Like he just dropped 300 yards on the Rams and three touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
He for everyone who says he's a game manager just doesn't know ball because he genuinely is playing the way he's supposed to. So I just think like for players coming out of college it matters where you land. Lamar Jackson, if he goes to the Browns, I don't think he's the same Lamar Jackson. I think he's still wildly talented, but I think the team still sucks because it's the team, right? It's hard for one player to just turn everything around. That's a generational player. That's like a once in a lifetime player. People that can turn a bad franchise into something. But he went to Baltimore that had stability and was well run, and he turns out that he's going to the playoffs every year. Same with Patrick Mahomes. Like, if listen, Mahomes goes to the Bears in that year with Nagy. I don't know. He's still Patrick Mahomes, but like it's the Bears. Like, but Ben Johnson wasn't there back then. That Nagy isn't Ben Johnson, so
Yeah. I think like one thing too that I think Colin Cowherd said it, and I usually don't agree with Colin Cowherd too much, in full honesty.
that's your other Sam Darnold truther. That's your friend.
Exactly. Like it's just the misconception on the internet or the league when someone sucks, like and they can't come back from it because it is abnormal, like you said. I think the one other thing for the last people that might be doubting Sam Darnold while watching this, you could beat a team once and it could be a fluke. You can. He beat both of his division rivals twice in the span of 5 weeks. And he didn't only beat them the second time, he kicked the shit out of them. Kicked the shit out of the 49ers. He might not have had to do too much, but he still made a great throw to Smith and Jigba and played turnover-free football. And then against the Rams, the scoreboard it was a great game because the Rams offense is great, but that was the best game I've ever seen Sam Darnold play in his career, honestly. So he beat those teams twice. And those teams are all competing for the number one seed. No, it's just a great career resurgence, and that's how we could leave the Darnold thing. Like, I don't think there's anything else. As a Jets fan, it's the closest they'll ever be to the Super Bowl because the Jets are never making the Super Bowl. Let's make that very clear. There's a very good quarterback on the other side too, Drake May. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna throw it to you guys, but I wanted to say I'm a Carolina fan. Um, I thought Drake May was gonna be a very good quarterback in the league. I didn't think it would be this fast, and I didn't think he would turn around the New England Patriots the way he did to get them to the Super Bowl in his second year. And I didn't think that, like I said at the start, didn't think he'd be better than Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson already. And I'm not saying he's better than them as a player. I'm saying he got to the Super Bowl over them. Let me clarify.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you said it right there, like the storyline of how fast he's been able to get to the Super Bowl, to the biggest stage, is definitely surprising. I think a lot of people, I mean, like high draft pick, obviously you kind of expect him to, at some point be a good quarterback, great quarterback in this league, but not this fast. I think. Um, I think it's interesting because you look at last year, like their flip that's insane. Going from what was it, 3-14 to 14-3 this year. Um, that's you don't see that in the NFL. Like it just that doesn't happen. And so I think it speaks a lot to his ability, but um, I think Mike Vrabel deserves a lot of credit, obviously. And what he's been able to do for Drake May's game, in this offense, in this defense, in this team as a whole. So yeah, I mean, obviously no, not better than Lamar and Joe and Josh. I'm not gonna go and say that yet either. I don't believe he's better than any of them yet, but it's definitely. I think it's a refreshing thing. I think it's a refreshing thing knowing that there is another great quarterback in the AFC, and how young he is, and just his abilities as a quarterback. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's got everything you want in terms of intangibles. Big guy in terms of he's tall. He's like he's he got a good frame. He's got everything that you want in terms of a prototypical quarterback. But what impresses me is his consistency, especially this year. It's like he's never too high where it's like, oh, like yes, he could throw for 300 yards, but it's never like he's throwing for 400 yards and five touchdowns one game, and then the next game he's like 100 yards and then one touchdown. Like he's evening it out. Now, I understand he had like 86 yards against Denver, but there was a lot of circumstance, great defense. It was snowing, offense wasn't as great. It was hard to get open for receivers. But for him, he's a steady guy. Like his progression has been steady. It hasn't been like, oh, he's great this year, and then this year he was bad. This time he was great, and that year he was bad. Last year the Patriots didn't have a lot, and they were still coming off of the Belichick rebuild with Mac Jones. So it was his first year. Second year, he just finds himself in a place where he has an easier schedule. He understands the consistency. He doesn't have to do too much. He understands what his team is. Like Blake said, Vrabel is a really good coach and has instilled that trust in him. McDaniel obviously McDaniel shouldn't work anywhere else. I mean, if Vrabel gets fired in 5 years, whoever the next coach is, make McDaniel the OC. Like, you don't have to look for OC. The all-time OC should be McDaniels. Like, it doesn't work anywhere else but New England. So, I mean, it works all the way around. And then obviously, I don't think he has that great of a receiving core. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. And he makes it
Yeah.
work. And he makes it
I-
work.
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because obviously you have Stephon Diggs who, I mean, he is a great receiver. I mean, he unfortunately had, um, you know, a year or two there, where things weren't so great for him. But yeah, his receiving core, it's not, it's not the best. It's Stephon Diggs, and I mean, you have an older Stephon Diggs as well. Like we're not talking,
Yeah.
really prime Stephon Diggs. Um, but I like another thing that you said, Toussaint, like he doesn't have to do too much. Like You're not seeing Drake May have to go out there every single week and throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns for them to win the game. That speaks to how good of a team they are. Their defense is great. Their defense is really great. They have a great secondary. They have a great defensive front. And it's they are an overall, that is the definition of a good, very good overall team who has I mean, they just have the pieces. They have the pieces and they make it work. And so I think their chemistry is something that needs to be praised for, where they are now in the Super Bowl. And yeah, like I think that just stands out. It's like he doesn't have to do too much, but you know that he can go and do that if he needs to. So
Yeah, no, exactly. And like I think when a lot of people were talking about Drake May in the MVP conversation, and by the way, I think Matthew Stafford could win it or should win MVP. People go, Drake May didn't have a 300-yard game until like week 16. He also was the only quarterback in the league never to throw under 200 yards. Um, and look, the Patriots roster, it's great. And we knew this was going to happen when they signed Robert Spillane, signed Carlton Davis, signed Milton Williams, drafted Will Campbell, signed Diggs. Like they had money to do it. But we knew that they'd be that fringe team unless Drake May was incredible. And he was freaking incredible. And like we could credit Mike Vrabel, we could credit all those people. Everyone deserves the credit in New England. Like the way they turned around that organization, like I would have been like, the Patriots are going to be subservient to Josh Allen in the AFC East. Like not similar to what Brady was, but the Bills won 7 straight division titles or whatever it was. Drake May's the reason they won't. And Drake May's the reason that Mahomes isn't going to make the Super Bowl every year. And Drake May's the reason that Joe Burrow might never make a Super Bowl again or Lamar Jackson might never make a Super Bowl. Like Drake May is just another one of those guys that, like, especially if he wins the ring, he'll be in that conversation. Like, he'll
yeah.
absolutely be in that conversation, and we all agree with that. And as a team, yeah, Patriots are really good. They're not going to go anywhere, obviously. Um, yeah, Vrabel's going to win Coach of the Year too. So that's pretty much it. It's just like it's weird seeing the Patriots back in the Super Bowl that fast when there's teams that complain all the time.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's really not fair. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not fair. So let's just get into like, we got into our initial thoughts about the game, but what do you think is one area or one X factor that really, really matters? And I'm taking out quarterback play. That's the one you can't say because obviously quarterback play matters.
I mean, you gotta go like defense really if I'm gonna go broad and just say defense. I mean, Seattle and New England both have great defenses. It's really who's gonna be the better defense in in California, you know? Who's gonna who's gonna make the stops when it's most needed? Who is going to execute? Who is going to have their coverages right? Who is going to, cover well? Like that's really what it comes down to. I think if I'm looking at it from a standpoint of matchup wise, I would be like I'm a little nervous for New England's defense heading into this game more so, just because of what JSN and Sam Darnold are capable of, um, and Clint Kubiak as an OC. But yeah, I mean, to me, that's the big X factor is who's going to be the better defense. Two great defenses battling, and who's gonna come out on top.
For me, it's about if Drake May can compete with the Seattle offense. And obviously both offenses aren't on the field at the same time. But if you look at the 3 games that Drake May has had to play in the playoffs, he faced the Chargers first. They didn't have both their starting tackles, and Justin Herbert, da 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 da, if man.
Huh.
So that offense scored 3 points and left a lot on the board and turned the ball over. Then you go play the Texans. CJ Stroud threw up 4 hoagie sandwiches like it was nothing. Okay, so you had 2 offenses that don't know what they're doing, and then you play a backup quarterback in Denver who after that crucial fourth down call, didn't have another 20-yard drive the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So you faced 3 abysmal offenses. The reason why I said consistency is because in terms of the last question of what sat with me in terms of Drake Mays, because he's always been consistent. Like he's able to put points on the board, put three here, put seven here, put three here, put seven here, and along the way he's able to drive the score up. When you're placing the Seahawks, that's not good enough. First of all, I understand that he faced top defenses, right? The Chargers are top 10 in defense, and you faced the number one defense in the Texans, and then a top five defense in the Broncos. But when all the other offenses aren't good, you can afford to have stalled drives. You can afford to not have touchdowns or 3 points put on the board. When you're facing the Seahawks, Sam Darnold will walk you down. He will
Imagine
walk you
saying
down.
that a year ago.
I know. Can't believe I'm saying it, but Sam Darnold will walk you down. They got JSN, they got Kenneth Walker, they got Cooper Kupp. They got Bobo and AJ Barner. They have weapons. They will walk you down offensively. And again, they are top five. They're this, in my opinion, the Seahawks were the number two defense this year. After the Texans, I think they were the number two defense. So if we remember the Texans game, it was a one-score game until Kayshon Boutte caught that one-handed nab in the end zone. So CJ Stroud doesn't throw four ham sandwiches. We might be like, if you get a competent quarterback, we might be talking about the Texans and the Broncos, not Patriots and Broncos.
And we might be
Um,
talking about the Chargers before that too. Like they didn't have a touchdown until the fourth quarter in that
It
game.
was 16-3. They scored two touchdowns. That's the game. So I'm just saying, and like I said, Sam Darnold is not gonna shy away from this moment. He's exercised his demons. They're no longer there. If he could smell the ring, he's gonna walk Drake May down.
Exactly, bro. Like that's the thing with me. Like to start me off, like one Drake May has said the past 3 weeks we're gonna clean it up, and this isn't to slander Drake May or anything, but now it's time to clean it up. You're facing the number one scoring defense. Like you are going to have to go win that football game because the way sports work, if you play bad in that game and the Patriots lose, yeah, that's your narrative till you get back. I thought both of you guys put it really well. My two things. I think Seattle is the better football team on paper. I think they are the better coached football team. Not that they have the better coach, but I think they are the better coached football team by the slightest margin. The thing for me, it's a New England secondary and the New England wide receiving core. Because I think it's more of a given that Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to get open than anyone else in this game. He's a superstar, and when you speak about the other guys they have, like Jake Bobo, like Cooper Kupp, these guys get open. And when I talk about the Seattle defense, I know that Devon Witherspoon's going to make a play. I know Tariq Woolen is going to make a play, even if he did a boneheaded thing
If he
last
doesn't
week.
crash out.
Yeah,
I was about
exactly.
to say.
And like, I know that's going to happen more than I know that Stephon Diggs is going to get open against the number one scoring defense. And that's not to slander Stephon Diggs, but you need the rest of the Patriots core to step up. And then on the other side, Christian Gonzalez, this is your moment. You were a first round pick. You were called the best corner in the league by a lot of people until your injuries went up. You're going to trail the best receiver in the game for 60 minutes in the Super Bowl. And so if those units don't step up, then Drake May's not going to have a chance because, like, I think Seattle is more of a guarantee going into this game than New England. And that doesn't mean New England can't win. When I look at Seattle, I could go, that's going to happen. JSN's going to get his catches. The defense is going to make stops. With the Patriots, like, they need to play above that ceiling that they've been playing the entire playoffs because, like you guys both said, there's a little doubt in there.
I think also another thing to me, and um, I think like explosive plays. More specifically though, like with Seattle, Seattle has made the explosive plays all postseason long, that have kind of, I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say wears the defense down because I mean it's not like they're doing this every single 5 minutes or whatever the case may be, but like those explosive plays matter, especially when you have, Rashid Shaheed take a kickoff back 98 yards to open up the game, or you throw a 70-yard bomb to Shaheed. Like those explosive plays matter, especially they matter more in the Super Bowl on the biggest stage. Like explosive plays on the biggest stage is really a mental killer for the opposing team. So it's like, can you limit those explosive plays? Well, first of all, it's like who's gonna make the explosive play, but also it's like Seattle's been doing this all postseason long. Are you going to be able to stop that? Can you limit that? I think that's another very, very important thing.
Yeah. No, I think that that's a great point. Uh, it just feels like for me, Seattle is the more stable team, and that's not to bash New England at all. It's not.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. I mean, that's why they're the favorite heading into this game. That's
yeah,
why, the spread is what it is. Like Seattle has been they've proven themselves all this whole postseason. They've proven themselves. So
exactly. I'm trying to think before we get into predictions. Give me one player that might be a little under the radar going into this game that you're just like, they're gonna make a difference in this game. And if you guys have one, great. If you don't and need to think, great too. But I have mine. Like
you go
uh,
ahead.
yeah, I think mine is what's it called? Travion Henderson. I don't know why the Patriots aren't going to give him the ball, but especially in the game last week when they needed to run the ball. My one like again, never rooted for the Patriots, but when I watched them, my thought was always, and you guys probably thought this too, and it's not a knock against Ramondre Stevenson. It's why isn't Travion Henderson getting the touches? And when he gets in, he plays very well. And in this game against a Seattle offense that's really high octane and a defense that's really high octane, you have to wear them out. And there's no better way to wear them out than running the ball. And I'm sorry, Josh McDaniels, if I'm giving away your plays right now. Ramondre Stevenson up the middle is going to get swallowed up 90% of the time. Travion Henderson is the better one in the open field. He's the guy that could receive better. He's more shifty, and there's less on tape. So the Seattle defense can't study him for 2 weeks. And so you got to control the time of possession and run the ball and help Drake May, or else Drake May is not going to do anything. And I think that starts with 32. Even if he doesn't have as many carries as Stevenson, just get him in the game because it's something Seattle hasn't seen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, what you took Henderson from me. That was mine. But another guy on their offense that I look at is Kayshon Boutte. He's been their leading receiver all postseason long.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be focused and talking about, looking at like Hunter Henry and Stephon Diggs because those are the bigger names of the offense. Those have been the most consistent guys all year long. But Boutte has been their leading receiver in their 2, 3 playoff games. So that's one. Another one though for me is Milton Williams. Milton, people don't remember, blew up last year's Super Bowl. Absolutely blew up last year's Super Bowl. Um, Very well, very like almost won Super Bowl MVP last year. So him being back in the Super Bowl, I think it's crazy to me that he's in a back-to-back Super Bowl and he switched teams and now he's in New England. Like, I think that's insane. If you would have told me that Milton Williams was going to be in another Super Bowl this year, I would have thought it was going to be Philly. But yeah, no, Milton Williams for sure, 100%. I feel like he's just think about that. Like you think about the game he had last year and now you get to go play in another Super Bowl a year after that. Like just the momentum, like personally for him, is probably insane. Like I would be so fired up to be in this. Like I would be like, nothing, ain't shit gonna stop me. Ain't shit gonna stop me. So, I think that's a big, big name to watch.
Mine is Shaheed. You touched on it. I mean, he rips the heart out of other teams. It's like, okay, we're good now. We can go rest, sit on the bench. Boom, like
Yeah,
returns it. And even if he doesn't get the touchdown, he's taking it 50 yards. If he doesn't take it 50 yards, guess what? He's hitting you with a quick little stick the hand out, and he's already gone. What was that deep play? It was like the first. It was like the first pass play of the
Yeah,
game.
first completion.
Who
yeah.
was it? Who was it? Was it against Quentin Lake? I can't remember which DB it was against, but he hit him with a nasty move
I
and
think
just
it was like
it was
Yeah, I think it was
Lake.
late. I think Forbes was on JSN.
Yeah, it was Lake. He hit him with a crazy little just stuck his hand out. I said, "How do you let the fastest man on the team get by you?" And they showed the replay, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure any DB is falling for that." He just gave him a quick little step, and so he as long as he's in open field, you're not getting him. And Sam will give him the ball, especially on those deep routes. He reminds me, he's like J-Mo for the Lions. Like if he hits you with a quick little step, he's gone. You're not getting to that. And so that really rips the heart out of a team when they're like, okay, we can rest now, or single coverage, no safety help. You give no safety help to the fastest player on both sides of the ball, and he's gonna kill you. So I think there's gonna be one play that defines the game, and he's gonna be at the helm. Like it's gonna be a punt return where it's like, oh man, we need to score a touchdown, and he gives a great field position, or it's a crazy bomb, and it's like, oh man, the Seahawks are right back in this, so they're about to run the score up, something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any other thoughts that we want to say before we hop into a prediction? Or is it time?
Prediction time. Let's do it.
Super Bowl 60, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Will the Patriots win number seven, or will Seattle get their final, or not final revenge? Get their revenge from what happened 11 years ago. Who would like to start us off?
I'll go. Why not? I'll say I think obviously Seattle's the favorite heading into this game. I think that it's gonna go down to the wire. I think it's gonna be a very, very good game. Um, I'm gonna go with Seattle. I think I mean Seattle's just a team, man. Like all all postseason, I have looked at Seattle and I have said, listen, heading into this game, I don't like Seattle doesn't really move me much. And they just dominate, 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 dominate. And so I'm not gonna make that mistake heading into the Super Bowl. I know what they're capable of now. So I'm gonna go Seattle. I think I'll give it Seattle 24, New England 20. I like that. I think
Yeah,
I think New England covers.
yeah, I think I'm going Seattle. I think Sam Darnold can see the rewrite on his legacy. Like he's already done it technically, but this would be the cherry on top to end it with the Super Bowl. And especially if he throws for like 300 yards and three touchdowns, he's Super Bowl MVP. Um, and I think they're just too dominant. Like the run game is too dominant, the pass game is too dominant, special teams is too dominant, the defense is literally too dominant. And I like the Patriots, but like I said, they've been steadily climbing. They're like, we got to clean this up and not make mistakes. Seattle doesn't really make mistakes. They really just don't. Um, Kenneth Walker's gonna be on one. I mean, last game he was on steroids. Like I don't even. He was running through people's grill. Like it was bad. As much as I like New England's defense and I like how they've been coached, they're gonna make mistakes in this game. Drake May's too young. Drake May. Here's the last thing I'm gonna say. I said he's consistent. He has to step it up to a new level in order for them to win. Like he's gonna have to throw for 300 yards for them to win. They're not gonna be able to run the ball, even with Travion Henderson. That defense is really good. They got a bunch of crash outs on that defense, and yeah, I think Seattle's gonna win. Oh, give me 31-23.
All right. I was gonna come on here with an original analysis, but I'm gonna be echoing a lot of what you guys are saying. So I'm going to read my prediction that I put on the Sporting News site because it's gonna be the most concise way for me to do this. If you guys have read this, I apologize, but this is it. Ready? Oh, Jake Mazarski. A rematch of Super Bowl 49 is exactly what the NFL ordered for 2026, with the Seattle Seahawks looking to finally exercise the demons of the 1 yard line against a New England Patriots team that's defied every expectation to return to the mountaintop. The storylines are dripping with drama on both sides. Can Mike McDonald's dark side defense officially cement itself as the modern day Legion of Boom? Will Drake May take another step forward? Will Jackson Smith and Jigba follow up his historic regular season by taking over the biggest stage in sports? But as a Jets fan, this game hits different because of one man, Sam Darnold. This is the closest thing I've ever had to a team in the playoffs for a long time, let alone the Super Bowl. I was there in Detroit for his first ever game. Yeah, I was. The pick six on the first play that turned into a blowout. I was there when he took down the Dallas Cowboys with the spleen protector on, coming back from mononucleosis to get the Jets their first win of the season. I'm ad-libbing a little now. And unfortunately, I was in the stands for the Seeing Ghosts game. So I didn't know what people were talking about when my phone was blowing up saying Seeing Ghosts. Okay, but if he does it against the New England Patriots, the New York Jets draft pick, that's the closest thing Gang Green and their fans have had to a Super Bowl. And it's real when you look at the Patriots team, like I said, and now I'm just totally ad-libbing. I said I was gonna not, but I'm ad-libbing. Um, they could totally pull this off. They're the underdogs. They don't care. They don't give a crap. Like the veterans they have around Drake May, how calm Drake May is, Mike Vrabel as a head coach. Nobody's doubting if the Seahawks or if the Patriots could win. The one thing for me, Seattle feels different, like you guys said. They feel like a team of destiny. Like, while the original Legion of Boom relied on legendary secondary play, this MOB, McDonald's owners of the backfield, thrives on a relentless pass rush and a secondary led by Devon Witherspoon and Nick Mallory that they hit just as hard as Earl Thomas. They hit just as hard as Cam Chancellor. And the biggest factor is JSN because he's made every single corner look like they're ordinary this year. He's going to do it against the Patriots secondary that's, I don't know, a little flawed. And I'll end you with this TalkBall tweakers for my Super Bowl prediction. 11 years ago, we saw a 28-24 finish that broke the hearts of the Pacific Northwest. This time, the Seahawks defense will be the ones making the game-sealing play, and Sam Darnold will finally trade the ghost of his past for a Lombardi trophy and cement one of the greatest stories in NFL history. Prediction, Seahawks 28, Patriots 24, the same score, different result. Sam Darnold hold the trophy. Thank you for letting me read that. Yeah. Thank you.
That was
you.
nice. That was nice.
Oh
Thank you.
boy, we got all Seattle on here now. What the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Especially since I say I'm rooting for a team, they're gonna lose. Like we know how this goes.
This is why I was slightly rooting for Matthew Stafford. I was like, it's the closest thing that the Lions are ever gonna smell to a
Bro, I wanted
championship.
Staff to get it so bad again.
He got one though. He got one.
He got one.
True. True.
Yeah. Yeah, but before we head out of here, audience, we're gonna talk a little about the national championship game. Because yeah, we could say that none of us believe Sam Darnold or Drake May would be in the Super Bowl. This is times a million. I don't think anybody 2 years ago could have been like the Indiana Hoosiers would go 16-0 and win the college football playoff. I just spoke about one of the best stories in NFL history. If Sam Darnold wins, I might be overreacting. I'm not overreacting when I say Indiana's turnaround is one of the best stories in sports history.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's absolutely up there. I've never seen anything like that. The losingest program, now second losingest, go Northwestern. The turnaround that they have had, every single feat they did, it feels like, as Kurt Signetti said, one hell of a movie. And then the kid from Miami to beat the Miami Hurricanes in his home city, that is just like so incredible. And yeah, now that story, I mean, he went in there. It's pretty simple. I went Google me. Yeah, he fucking won. He won. Yeah.
That's gotta be the most badass thing, saying Google me and then in year two winning the national championship and backing it up. Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts. The only thing I'm gonna say to that, I don't think there has to be much said about it all, but I just think like the fact that somebody can go to the losingest program, a school that genuinely is known for one sport, hasn't been great in the other sport. Nobody shows up for that sport. Like Indiana, like they've had some people come through. They had Michael Penix a couple years ago. They had some people like for them to turn around. And the most miraculous thing that I have to say is with not a single 5-star on the roster is in a year in an era of NIL for them to win it without a single 5-star. You got Texas and Texas A&M and Texas Tech who are paying out of their ass for 5-star. Oil money is talking to people. Right? You got people who are willing to break contracts for more money because NIL is a real thing. And they went out and beat Ohio State, the defending national champs. They beat Miami. They beat Oregon. Like they beat all these teams that that are littered with 5-star athletes. And
Yeah.
just, I mean, I can't even say what that like it horrendous things what they did to Oregon. That's a massacre.
And Alabama.
Alabama will not be the same for a while after that has been. Like like what
Didn't
Mike what Michael Irvin was doing, they got that to them. So
didn't feel
They didn't only go on a college football national championship run. And this isn't to slander any other national championship run. They beat every powerhouse to say we're the new powerhouse. They beat the defending national champions, giving them their first loss in over a year to win their first Big Ten title since 1945 and be the number one team for the first time. Then the next time they play Alabama, who's been the best college football program this century. They don't only beat them, they kick the shit out of them, 38-3. And then you face Oregon, and we could talk about Oregon all we want. They haven't won a national championship. They're still one of the top college football programs in the country. And they're also one of the most expensive rosters in the country. And from the first play on, you kick the crap out of them. And then there's not a dynasty, an old dynasty that's almost back to the mountaintop. And you go, this isn't your moment. This is ours. Yeah, this is ours. And then the way they won that game, yeah, exactly. I don't think a lot of
went
people
in their shit.
they walk into your trap and take over your trap.
Nah.
They literally did. They literally did that. And then in the game itself, look, Indiana didn't have to play that many close games this season. And some people, I don't want to say doubted it. Every time Miami threw a punch, Indiana's just like, we'll throw one right back at you guys. And by the end, like Miami couldn't throw multiple ones. Like Indiana
then it
was
looked
impossible.
then it looked
And
like their
then
quarterback got punched in the head.
exactly. He had the bloody lip, and then Miami did have a chance. And they had the
No, I'm
chance.
talking about Carson Beck.
Oh, him too.
That ham sandwich he threw on the left.
Yeah.
Carson Beck, we need you to save the game. Meatball sub.
Yeah, exactly.
Threw
So
up a-
look,
Yeah, he
yeah,
threw up a chicken Big Mac.
that was insane.
Big Macs with extra Big Mac sauce.
Gosh, stop. No, but that run, like that's right up there with Joe Burrow in 2019, if not better. I mean, Ohio State branded themselves as the past year as the best run in college football history. You can't use that anymore, guys. Sorry.
I think this is second in my opinion. I think 2019 LSU is still the best only because of the
Absolutely.
players and the
Yeah.
magnitude of how they were beating people. Like they literally almost never trailed the entire season, and they had
Bro.
first ballot Hall of Famers like littered all over that entire.
2019, that shit ain't being beat, bro. There's no way.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen
No.
again. And that was the very end. That was the year right before NIL started. So it was like because the NIL is spreading people around in
Yeah.
terms of players. That was when they had like everybody, all elite 5-stars. So to be honest, they're only second to that team in my opinion.
Yeah, I think LSU is a better team. I think the run from Indiana is better just because of the structure. Not to take away from LSU, they took an Oklahoma team that won the Big 12 and Joe Burrow threw 8 touchdowns, and then against a Clemson team that won 30 straight games, you beat them by multiple possessions. That was a good run. Indiana, just the way they did it, like, is more impressive. But then again, that's the era. Um, I guess going into the rest of the college football season or off season, Darian Mentz has transferred to Miami. Lane Kiffin has gotten his quarterback, Sam Levitt. Gunnar Stockton staying at Georgia. Not really a storyline, but I threw it out there. Ty Simpson leaving. Dante Moore coming back to Oregon.
Storesby going to Tech.
Yeah,
Texas Tech.
Sorsby going to Texas Tech. Like, there's a lot of good teams, obviously. I'm gonna put y'all on the spot. National champion right now. Yeah, I could give mine.
Way
But-
too early.
Yeah, let's go Blake first.
Ooh.
Shit. Way too early. Natty. I mean,
Why don't you go ahead, Jake?
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm gonna give my top three because I went through all three. Number 3, Oregon. Dante Moore coming back. Team is loaded. They've now been through playoff heartbreak twice. It might not happen a third time with all the experience. They're loaded. Number two is Miami, returning Mark Fletcher, returning Malachi Tony, and return Darian Mensah's coming in, Cooper Bartgate. The defense, they're losing Ruben Bain, they're losing Keontae Scott. They're still going to be good. My number one team didn't make the playoff this year. If I had to predict a national champion right now, Texas. Arch Manning is going to take another step forward. He was incredible in November. Go look at his stats. Go look at his stat line there. Texas reloaded and got so much better. Like, I do think Texas is one of the top 12 teams in America this season, but the playoff format, we spoke about that. They're bringing in a superstar in Cam Coleman. Ryan Wingo's coming back. You're bringing in Hollywood Smothers, who was one of the best running backs in the ACC. And to back him up, you're bringing in Rayleigh Brown, who just ran for 1,000 yards at Arizona State.
They're gonna be nasty.
Texas is going to be gross.
They're gonna
And
be nasty.
yeah, and like, am I predicting Arch Manning to win the Heisman? No. But if I learned one thing from covering every Arch Manning this game this year, especially toward the end, excuse the language, he's a bad motherfucker. I'm serious. Like, he has that it factor, and it took a little to come. Now he's gonna do it. Texas is going to be in the national championship.
I like Texas.
Good. That's going on shorts for sure.
That's a good pick. I like Texas. They're gonna be nasty. That's
And
true.
I
He's
did
winning the
think-
Heisman.
I could predict Arch to win the Heisman right now, but there's other guys too. Like,
Bro, no, we're not doing Heisman right now.
Yeah,
Our
we're not
Heisman
doing-
picks last season.
we're not doing. Yeah, exactly.
Our Heisman picks
Did
last.
we say we said K Club Nick? We said
I said Dante Moore.
okay. It's
He
not
said
terrible.
Dante Moore.
One of you said
I
DJ
think
Lagway.
I said DJ Lagway. Yeah.
He's in Texas now.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even remember who I said. Who did I say?
You
You said Lenore Sellers.
said Sellers and you said Nussmeyer.
No, Sellers
Bro,
was
we're not
Sellers.
doing that
See,
shit.
Sellers wasn't. Sellers. I mean,
We gotta wait.
jeez.
We're not doing that shit.
This was the worst quarterback class I've ever seen. It was like,
Yeah.
Damn. I gotta.
We'll leave it to just the team for now.
I don't know, cause like, bro, Texas is gonna be crazy. Texas is gonna be insane. I don't believe in Georgia with Gunnar Stockton at the helm. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Um, I really think Ohio State, obviously, they're gonna be back. Um, man. Fuck it. I'll go LSU, Lane Kiffin LSU. Why not?
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
He's done he's done some damage in that portal. He's done some real damage in that portal. They still got, I mean, I don't think a lot of their recruits left from who was committed. I like LSU a lot. A lot.
They just got Jordan Seaton.
Jordan Seaton, yeah. They reloaded at wide receiver completely. Sam Levitt obviously is Sam Levitt.
they had Jace Brown.
Jordan
Yeah.
Seaton,
Their defense too.
defense, they got the number one recruit coming in. Like they're gonna be nice. I like LSU.
It's a good one.
This one's tough for me because I'm thinking about the SEC and it's like I don't really like anybody from the SEC particularly. Other than, I mean, LSU is pretty good. I mean, and Texas. LSU and Texas are probably the best out of the SEC. I feel like I see coming out. I feel like Ohio State's gonna be right back there and Oregon, but I still feel like Lanning's not gonna get over the hump. You know what? I'm coming out of left field. Give me Texas Tech. I think they reload. I think defense is still elite. Sorsby is gonna be a good option. I don't think he's gonna be bad. Actually, correct that. Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma. I think with Mateer coming back, that defensive line is still nasty. I think as long as he doesn't break his hand again or shatter a bone, they'll be steady. Because that threw off his entire season. Like he rushed to get the surgery, came back early, was terrible in the first game, evened it out, but then he still wasn't his same self. Like before he broke his hand, he was a Heisman candidate. Like he was playing like that. And then he got hurt, and then he rushed back, and then it wasn't the same because you're playing with a broken hand, like weeks after surgery. So I think if he stays healthy, I'm gonna give it to OU.
I like that.
That one's.
A few disclaimers, Pod. We're not going against Indiana. Indiana's going to be really good too. We're
I
just
just
picking.
didn't feel like picking him.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be
I
gross.
don't I don't think they're gonna win it. Wait, who's their quarterback now?
Josh Hoover from TCU.
That's right. I have faith that Signetti can get him to be better. I
Yeah,
don't really have faith in Hoover.
valid.
It's
I'm
valid.
gonna throw out one more wild card just because you guys threw out two teams that I didn't really expect. Um, Give me Jesus. National championship? No, I'm not doing it to win the national championship, but to win their conference, maybe, even though Miami's in there. Virginia Tech's gonna be good. I really do think Virginia Tech's gonna be good with James Franklin. And I think there's a few teams like that around there. Like, I think Michigan's going to be really good. And it doesn't really take me anything against me to say that. I think Bryce Underwood's going to take a step forward. I think Kyle Whittingham's one hell of a coach. And I think that you're bringing over the Utah lifestyle in Michigan. I think that's sort of better for them because of the way the Big Ten has adapted. And they're bringing back Andrew Marsh. They're bringing back Jordan Marshall. So now I talk myself Michigan more than Virginia Tech. Like Michigan's reloaded. They obviously went through that adversity. They lost a bowl game to Texas. I don't really know what you expected. Texas just played better. A lot of new energy there. And Bryce Underwood, I mean, you covered him in high school. You said it to me one of the first times we ever spoke about him. You said one of the things that really shocks me is how mature he is as a high schooler. And now he has one of the longest tenured coaches there. He's going to get a lot better this offseason before he even takes a snap. And so I think if he takes a step forward, like, and I know you guys will agree with me, Michigan could win it all. They really can.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't gonna be the biased guy and say it, but no, I mean they're gonna be really good. Michigan's gonna be really good. I'm very excited as a fan to see what they do. I'm excited to see the step that Bryce takes. He has a quarterbacks coach now. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck? He didn't have a quarterbacks coach.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Are
I
we
don't know how you don't
serious?
have a
I
quarterbacks
could not
coach.
believe that, dude.
Like what?
No,
That was
he must have
crazy.
found he must have had evidence against Sharon, and Sharon's just like Bryce don't need to develop.
That was crazy. So, yeah, no, they're gonna be good. I mean, they got a lot of good transfers from Utah.
Yeah.
They got their best defensive player. They got a wide receiver who's really good. I mean, French coming from Texas is gonna be really good, a 5-star. Tatum from Oklahoma, the running back,
Yeah.
now back at, a two running head monster with Tatum and Marshall. Like Michigan is going to be really good. Rod Moore's back. You get Jair Hill back. Like I'm telling you, they reloaded. A lot of people thought like, a lot of people were going to leave and they all decided to come back. The whole offensive line is back. Like Michigan is going to be nice. So I just didn't, I wasn't going to pick them though as the Michigan fan here, but
That's valid. I'm just
Oklahoma,
gonna
Michigan, week 2 is going to be not is a movie.
at the big house, right?
Yeah.
And Ohio State, Texas is that week. Michigan might smoke Oklahoma. The last thing I wanted to say about Michigan is like it impresses me that they all wanted to come back. I
Yeah.
couldn't have seen that coming. I don't think anyone could have seen that come. I think it would have been very easy to take the easy route. Because as a football player or just anybody in sports or as a person, you don't need to go through that. And
Yeah.
the way they've responded to it is just like really admirable. And I didn't think Kyle Whittingham was even a choice. And they go, "We're the University of Michigan. We're going to take you."
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Any other college football thoughts before we get into our first tweaker of the week in 3 weeks? All right. We're going to name two because it's been a minute.
Two?
Tweaker of the
Two.
weeks.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm going to go first. I'll give you a second to think of two.
Okay.
Number one's the Hall of Fame committee. I don't care what you think about Bill Belichick. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm not going to give you stats. I'm going to say this. If you think Bill Belichick's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, you do not understand football.
Yeah.
That simple. So Hall of Fame committee and whoever was the reason there. And number two is Aaron Glenn and Woody Johnson. I could come on here and talk about the Jets, and it wouldn't be TalkBall Tweakers that the Jets ran. Firing your offensive coordinator 3 weeks after everyone already did, so you have to do the search late, and you're not going to get the best candidate. And then almost hiring two of the better defensive coordinator options, but since Aaron Glenn wants to call plays, and they pretty much lied to Wink in the interview, like it's just like you saw Buffalo be dysfunctional last week. You saw other teams be dysfunctional, and the Jets go, hold my beer. Like, and I don't know who that is. It's not Woody, and I'm not ready to go. Aaron Glenn's ruining the whole thing, even though I do think he is because he'll prove himself. Maybe they are just a shit show. That's it. They just are. Like, Jesus, every single week it's something. Like, dude, give it a rest. It's the off season.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
No, for real.
Yeah.
I feel you.
All right.
Go
You
ahead.
got yours. You want me to go?
No, you go ahead.
All right. Number one, the entire Browns organization. Uh, you fired Kevin Stefanski. Then you said we're gonna make everybody do homework to find our next head coach. We're going to make essays. We're going to make you take written tests. We're going to make you do personality tests to ensure that you're the right guy for us. Several people say, I don't want to do this anymore. And they leave the coaching search, all the best hires. So then, guess what? You're stuck with Todd Monken. But here's the other thing. Here's the kicker. The Browns owner reportedly went against the recommendation of the GM and the search committee and selected Todd Monken himself. You mean to tell me the GM made all these hires, or these potential hires, do homework and tests only for you to say hire Todd Monken? What? Are you on crack? Are you smoking dope? This is what I'm talking about. Bad franchises make terrible decisions. Why would you tell a man whose job it is to hire? Why would you let him do all these tests and these essays only for you to be like, hire the guy in Baltimore that just went 8-9 and missed the playoffs? The guy who was at the helm for the offense. What? All right, that's the first tweaker because I can't believe the Browns won. Oh my goodness! If you're a Browns fan, you got to stop it. You just quit the team. Stop. Move out of Cleveland. Do something. It's bad. You haven't been relevant since Baker. And my second one are my Detroit Lions. When we fired Morton, I said, golly, I said, yippee. I started getting happy. I said, we get a new offensive coordinator. Then the Dolphins fire Mike McDonald. I said, man, I know good and well. If you want the offense to get started, get it humming, get elite, you hire the best offensive mind who's gonna take an OC
That would
job.
have been so sick. Oh my
I mean,
God.
Mike McDaniel would have gotten us back to the promised land. We would have immediately been in the playoffs off his hire alone. We would have been winning shootouts left and right. It wouldn't be Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle every single time. All right, it would be let's get Goff to throw some elite passes, right? The franchise comes out and they say, no, let's not hire Mike McDaniel. We don't see eye to eye. You don't see eye to eye with one of the best offensive minds in the league. So who are you gonna hire? Drew Petzing. Drew Petzing. We like that hire because all of Lions fandom love that. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown goes on his podcast and he says, don't you guys have faith in Dan Campbell to make the right decision? He just made the wrong decision hiring Wharton. What you want me to do? Be happy that he hired a guy that failed at OC? Now, given it was the Cardinals, they hired him because he fit their personnel. Two running backs, run first, heavy tight end. That was the scheme that he used. So they tried to use the same scheme as they've been using. Brother, hire Mike McDaniel. He's the best mind. What's wrong with you? But this team got me tweaking out. Now we're back to being mediocre, like the mediocre franchise we are. We're gonna waste a bunch of talent. Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs and all these guys are gonna waste another year of their careers. And it really pains me to be you say it hurts to be a Jets fan. It hurts to be a Lions fan. We have talent. That's our whole thing is like, we've had talent. We had Barry Sanders in the 90s. We had Megatron and Stafford. And then guess what? Stafford leaves and he wins a Super Bowl. Don't you think that tells you something about this franchise? That we can't get it together? We can't get a play caller and a good enough defense that we can't get Matthew Stafford to a Super Bowl. And then when we're half away, we blow it. And then when it's time to make the right call on offensive coordinator, we can't even do it again. We just happened to run into Ben Johnson. It wasn't even like we purposely hired him. I'm sick of this franchise, man. It's like we continually make the worst coaching decisions. It's always the coaching for us. It's never the players. We draft the right players. It's the coaching.
Yeah, it always is.
Come on, Dan. You're tweaking. You got CTE game. You got to get under control.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry. Speaking of dysfunctional organizations, like before you go, if you've been watching my face for the past month, the Rangers, like, I can't even talk about them seriously. They just took 3 penalties in 20 seconds. Like, how is that possible? And I'm gonna interrupt you every time during your tweet of the week to tell you when the Islanders score, but they now have 4 minutes of power play time. Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. Go.
Bro, sports. Oh.
They're terrible.
Little sports. All right. First up, first up, first up is Nebraska Cornhusker basketball fans.
Facts.
Really
Facts.
pissed me off. Really been grinding my gears for the past 24 hours. Crying. Exactly what Toussaint's doing right now is what they've been doing the past 24 hours. You lost a top five matchup. Let it go. Get over it. It plain and simple. Plain and simple. Y'all are little dogs. All right. Y'all little dogs. Y'all little dogs. Like real shit. Trey McKinney put his fucking body into y'all for a fucking layup. Game over. Like, let it go, please. On Twitter, crying, talking about, oh my God, like, oh my God, missed calls, missed foul calls. Michigan shot 24 free throws. How about y'all stop revolving y'all game around three-pointers? How about y'all stop doing that? How about you stop doing that?
Facts.
And then they want to talk about, oh, oh my gosh, Frager and Mass, they didn't play. Our two of our best players didn't play basketball last night. Nebraska. Yaxel Lendenborg didn't fucking show up. Imagine if he would have had a game. Imagine if he would have had a game. Then what? But let's also talk about if Mass and Frager were on the floor, is Lawrence is Lawrence shooting four straight three-pointers in the first half? Is that happening if Mass and Frager are on the floor? Let's be fucking for real. There's so much basketball to go around on one offense. You're gonna tell me, oh, the same offensive performance that Nebraska had last night. If Mass and Frager are playing, it's just 20 more points are going to be added to the scoreboard. Learn fucking basketball. Learn basketball. The whole offensive game plan would have been twisted if them two were on the fucking floor. Like, let's be for real. So that's really irritating me. Really irritating me. And then they're talking about, oh my God, I can't wait. They're in Nebraska. Oh my gosh. Give us our two best players, some unbiased rest and a neutral floor, and we're gonna win by 15 plus. Oh, you think so? You really think so? After Michigan just turned the ball over 23 times and couldn't hit a three-pointer, an off night for Michigan, an off night, and y'all are talking about I wish to see y'all down the line? Really? Really? Really?
I see you in the Big Ten tournament. See you in the Big
Really?
Ten
Y'all really
tournament,
want
buddy.
that? Do y'all really want a game where what we had last night plus Yaxel Lendenborg and Elliot Cadeau are actually playing basketball? Do y'all really want that? They
Well,
don't.
Elliot Cadeau playing basketball. I can't tell you if that's gonna happen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're a North Carolina fan. I get that. He demons are resurged around here in Ann
Yeah,
Arbor.
no, no,
Okay.
no. He's good. He just can't score. Like we could talk.
Demons resurged around here. Demons
Good.
re fucking surged around here.
Bro, nobody's a bigger fan of Elliot than me.
So that's my thing with Nebraska fans. They're just crying. All these foul calls, this, that, and the third. Nebraska had so many, everybody had missed foul calls last night. Nebraska had way more. I'm not even the front. I watched the whole fucking game. Yeah, Michigan had some missed foul calls. Nebraska, though, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The amount of missed foul calls. real shit, Michigan should have shot 40 free throws last night. And I'm not even bullshitting you. I'm not even bullshitting. Yeah, Nebraska should have been on the line way more, but max, Nebraska should have shot 14 free throws, maybe 16, 18. Michigan should have shot 40. 40. So that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Do you want a second or not?
My second one's a quick one. Just Pittsburgh Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy. Like, are we serious? I thought we were done with McCarthy. I thought the NFL was done with Mike McCarthy. Y'all are just gonna. You got worse. You got worse. You got worse. I get it, Mike Tomlin. You didn't want him to go. He stepped down. He doesn't want to coach anymore. I get that. That's totally fine. You're gonna go with a guy who has disappointed season after season after season after season after season. Like, what? Are we serious? Are we serious? That's just my thing. I'm not even a Pittsburgh fan. I'm sad for them.
Bro, I've been saying this. Omar Khan, the GM, is a con man. He will con Steelers fans into believing we're back. No. He's a con man.
Yeah.
He will con you.
Yeah, they're not back. Oh, there's the goal. Yeah, that was gonna happen. All right, guys. Any final thoughts before TalkBall Tweakers? We might do another one before the Super Bowl actually plays. But it's always great to be back, Pod. It's always great to be back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, peace. I'll let Blake do the exit. Remember, Pod, Sam Darnold's in the freaking Super Bowl.
Remember Sam Darnold's the Super Bowl. Comment. Just comment Super Bowl winner. Predictions, Super Bowl predictions. As always, run on socials. Share it out to everybody, your mom, grandma, whoever. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see y'all next time. Stay fly.